So that time has come where Gulfy has to get ready now for a long journey, about 12 to 13,000 kilometers. And it all begins here. It took me 5.5 months to recover once I was tested positive for COVID. And now, 5.5 months later, a lot of rest, a back injury, which is completely not healed yet, but a vaccine all done. We're ready to finish up Drive India 2 again. But first, Gulfy needs some TLC. That's where the heart of Gulfy is, right under that hood. She's coming in for an oil change. The engine oil has to be changed every 10,000 kilometers so she can run smooth and continue to keep the inhabitants safe. And I don't trust any other oil other than Gulf. Gulfy is getting ready for Drive India 2, where we're going to different parts of the country, trying to get more awareness for young adults under the project name Yoga. So this is the heart of Gulfy, where lies the D4D 3.0 liter engine. But what runs this engine is oil. Keeps it smooth, keeps all the parts lubricated so it can run and run and run and run. And the only oil I do trust is Gulf. It's about strength, it's about endurance, it's about reliability. And Gulf oil has kept Gulfy going over 135,000 kilometers across 43 countries, and now we're embarking on Drive India. Gulfy is being raised to expose the undercarriage where the oil is going to be drained out. Now these are some of the parts that Gulfy is going to have to be looked into. There was a time in China when this bolt just came off completely and we had no clue until we got a Chinese garage to look for something else that the brakes were giving us trouble with, and found that that could be precarious. So we are keeping an eye on that. If you can see this wire over here, that's called the breather. That's essentially what keeps air going into this differential and making the differential, work with the oil that's out there. There's a lot of oil in that differential that makes it, when running it becomes really hot. And if we go into water at this level here, you see that nozzle, then water is likely to go into the differential, seizing the differential because of the cold water and hot oil. They don't mix very well. So we've taken that tube all the way up and out to the front into the firewall housing under the hood. I'll show you more about that. The two differentials and also the transfer case. The transfer case is another one that's going to need that breather, and we've taken that breather up as well. So this car is now ready to swing pretty much. So that's the armor that keeps a lot of the suspension parts safe from a lot of rocks and other debris that could potentially damage while we drive off-road. And now we've got to take that armor off to expose the oil bolt so we can get the oil drained out. Quite recently we've replaced this yellow part. As you can see, this is the struts. This had done quite a lot of kilometers and we've had to replace this one before we set out on this journey. This is the Old Man Emu, an Australian make from the company called ARB. It's done Gulfy really well in the first time around, so we've got a lot of trust based on it, and we're hoping that Gulfy gets to go another 100,000 kilometers or more on this new edition. Behind me is Gulfy getting ready to make this long journey coming up Drive India 2 around India for about 13,000 kilometers. We've got a lot of talk set up on the way, and a lot of well-wishers, the Rotary clubs across the country are coming together with us to ensure that Yoda gets a good kickoff. Yoda is an acronym for Young Organ Donation or Youth Organ Donation Awareness for young adults in colleges, high schools, and we want to sensitize them organ donation and what it takes to become an organ donor. A lot of kids on, a lot of kids that go into colleges and schools that are on the high rates from small towns and villages don't have exposure to organ donation, and no one goes out there to talk to them. Well, we do, and we're looking forward to that. Stay tuned for more on that. So what we're attempting to do today is change the engine oil. It'll give us a good 10,000 kilometers of smooth running. Lubricated engine is the best thing you can have for a car. And what's doing it is our big partner, our most supportive partner, but more importantly, high-tech partner. With this synthetic oil, Gulfy is good for another 10,000 kilometers or more, because every new iteration of this oil enhances the life of the engine, just like organ donation enhances someone else's life. So everybody needs a second chance and continued chances. And organ donation does it. And Gulf does it for cars and trucks like no one else. And that's how you collect the oil from underneath the catch can. Now, technically, if we measure what comes out, it should be what we put in. If it's less, it means the engine is burning up oil, and there could be a sign or a symptom of other problems that are coming up in the future. So I'm hoping that is not the case. So we'll see how much of the oil comes out. As you can see, it's completely black. It couldn't get dirty otherwise, so it is time for an oil change. So the capacity of that catch can is about 7 liters, and what goes into this place, into this engine up there, if you follow the 4 thread coming out of the engine from the bottom through the filter is now also going to be changed. I know this is quite basic. That's the armor going back, protecting the undercarriage. And all of this is part of the ARB front bull bar system. If you see, this whole thing is just one piece. Well, it's different pieces all bolted up, but the entire front end is protected just in case we go into territory that... In fact, if you see this damage over here, this was caused in the Omani entry quarter while we were driving around in the desert. And we misjudged a sand dune, at least I misjudged a sand dune that looked like it was going to level off once we get up, but it was just a sheer drop on the other side. And what happened was Gulfy went nose down into a few rocks. And if this piece of equipment wasn't there, then the whole front end would have been damaged right in the middle of nowhere with no help, and that would have been a catastrophe. But we got away with just that much. And this piece of equipment, which is well certified for safety and airbag deployment by the Australian company ARB. It's not that they're paying me for it, they should, but it is what it is, and yeah, that's how protected Gulfie is, and if Gulfie's protected, so am I. So we protect the body and we protect the engine, and that's what we're doing today, is protecting the engine, replacing that dark oil with fresh water to give us more kilometers, more organ donation awareness, more people to reach, more communities to serve, and save lives. And every time we change oil, we've got to change the filter. This looks like a genuine Toyota part, and I say looks like, but it doesn't matter as long as it does the job. Greasing all the bolts so it goes in easy and prevents rusting and potentially breakage if it rusts. These are our partners who've made it possible for us to make such a journey year after year after year, kilometers after kilometers, communities after communities, people after people, serving humanity and saving lives. Gulfie began his journey with us in 2016 when we completed Bangalore to Scotland. Don't forget to check us out on our documentary called Blended Highway. It's a chronicle of this entire journey, and I promise you, you will enjoy it as a family drama. All this being done under the Gift of Life Adventure Foundation, which is a registered trust and now an ATG approved foundation. So your contributions could even benefit you, but you certainly will benefit our mission and support our mission. The armor goes back on, and the next step will be to remove the fuel filter, the oil filter rather, and then we'll put the oil in. That preparation is happening. This is the new oil filter. The old one, well used. Formula GX 5W40. That's the recommended oil that this engine requires in Gulf. Is keeping it real for Gulfie. जहाँ पर भी Gulfie जाती है तो Gulfistan बढ़ता जाता है. यही है Gulfie का कमाल. It just increases its territory as we drive around the world. You could kick the oil around, but it ain't going to let you down. Now we're getting ready for the big fill. We have 8 liters in these cans, and the engine takes just 7. So what we're doing is we're going to pour out 1 liter, measured by a 1 liter engine oil can. So we know that's 1 liter, and the rest of the 7 we'll just pour into Gulfie. I'm always excited to see when new oil goes into the engine, because you can actually feel the difference once it's all in. And I've never had any other oil go into this engine but this one. I know for sure that it just works like magic. $7 liters goes in here. Well, I think the recommended usage would probably be 7.5, but once we put all 7 in, then we'll use the dipstick to find out how the levels are, and then we'll top it up. Looks like liquid gold, isn't it? It certainly is more valuable to me than gold is under the circumstances. Of course, gold is not bad to have. It can fund and fuel Gulfy to go around the world twice and meet more people, spread more awareness. Yes, we're on a mission here, ladies and gentlemen. So that's the end of the can, and I guess we're all full up. We'll look at the dipstick now, once it settles a little bit. Liquid gold, gone into Gulfy. So we look at the dipstick, and the levels are showing perfectly. So 7 liters of liquid gold, the Gulf liquid gold, that comes from a can like this. The Formula GX SW40, fully synthetic passenger car motor oil, approved by BMW, Mercedes-Benz, Volkswagen, and definitely approved by the Gift of Life Adventure and Gulfy. So I showed you earlier that these breather pipes that we've taken out from the differentials and the transfer case / transmission, which is a common one in this car. So there are 3 pipes that end and terminate over here using the ARB breather kits. Now what this allows is for all the 3 components to breathe, but from up here. So if we have to wade in water, we could actually wade as deep as this till the top. Otherwise, if we had water without the breather pipe, we would have had to wade no more than this height of water, and that's the safe limit without the breather pipes. Now with the breather pipes, this limit goes all the way up till this level over here, and this is where the air comes through into the differential and the transfer case. Here's another modification I'd like to highlight on Gulfy. Now if you see, I'm opening up this plug, and what this is called an Anderson plug. So this is a 50 amp Anderson plug that gives me live battery power. So if I need to jumpstart any other car or jumpstart myself, I could just plug in the jumper cables which have a compatible unit that goes into this plug and not have to open up the hood. So what this is essentially doing is giving me live battery power from my second battery and allowing me to jumpstart either this battery or any other car without opening the bonnet, without opening this hood. And I could use this power for other things, including tools that require a 12 volt live, it could be a power tool, it could be air compressors, it could be kitchen stuff, it could be stoves or whatever that needs live 12 volt power. And that's the other thing that Gulfy is now equipped with. What we eventually need to do is get some solar power so that the second battery continues to charge while we are parked or camped, because a lot of the equipment inside the car, like the fridge and other electricals and the camp lights, for example, these camp lights over here. Now these are camp lights that we would need on either side. So I have 3 camp lights all around, and if they need to get powered, that would be through the second battery. And that second battery with a solar cell on top, maybe on top of this roof. We need to find a way to put it up there, but when we have the resources, we will, and make Gulfy completely off-grid capable so we can reach interior communities to be able to spread the word and do other things that the Gift of Life Adventure is chartered and set out to do beyond organ donation awareness. Folks, we've completed one big maintenance that every car needs, and certainly Gulfy was overdue. And thank you, Gulf, for being here for us again to test our endurance, our strength, purpose and passion. Stay tuned for more videos. Subscribe at the bottom. Just click that red button. Give us some hope. You will help us out in our mission. Thank you for watching. My name is Anil Srivatsa for the Gift of Life Adventure Foundation. Please contribute. We are now 501c3 compliant in America, and we are now ATG approved in India. They are two separate foundations, but we have retained the name. So thank you for watching. We'll come back for more videos.